What's the most twisted way your family dealt with grief? I was 15 when my brother's pregnant ex-girlfriend moved in. 3 weeks earlier, Connor was gone. A suicide no one saw coming. We had just been planning what movie to watch on New Year's Eve. 6 days later, I was standing outside a funeral home, crying into my childhood blanket. I was at the kitchen table when Mom looked up from her coffee and said, "Sarah's moving in." Sarah, Connor's ex-girlfriend. 4 months pregnant. It's what Connor would have wanted, Mom said. Let's make her feel welcome. So I tried. I helped her carry in her 2 suitcases. She rested one hand on her baby bump, the other gripping the suitcase handle like she belonged. She never called my parents Mom and Dad when Connor was alive. But now she was sobbing into my mother's arms saying, "Mom, I don't know what I'd do without you." They gave her his room, his chair at dinner, his favorite mug for her decaf. Dad told me to hand it to her like it was no big deal. "This is hard, sweetie," Mom said when she saw me hesitate. "But Sarah and the baby need us now." The next few months were hell. I buried my grief under good grades and forced smiles. I bit my tongue when my parents drained my entire college fund and moved it into the baby's future. When Sarah asked to wear Connor's clothes, I said yes, through gritted teeth. Mom handed over his car, his laptop, even access to his bank accounts. Everything was for the baby. They didn't notice when I started failing my classes, or wearing long sleeves in summer. Mom was too busy planning baby showers and prenatal appointments. Every day, I played Here Comes the Sun on repeat, Connor's favorite song. Every night, I started iMessage games with him, even though I was just playing alone. They screamed at me for going to the cemetery. You have to let go of the past. So I'd go alone, lying on the grass beside his grave with my blanket. Like I was back on the bedroom floor, listening to him tell dumb jokes. Sarah started giving me advice, saying, "Connor would want you to," but Connor never gave advice. He just listened. That was his gift. The breaking point came on what would have been his 18th birthday. The Arctic Monkeys, his favorite band, were performing in town. I wanted to go, scream every lyric of his favorite song. But when I mentioned it over breakfast, Sarah's face tightened. Actually, I've already rented the lake house that day for my gender reveal. Connor would want us to celebrate new life, not dwell on death. I begged my parents to let me go. Mom looked at me like I was insane. How could you try to ruin this for Sarah? Dad slammed his mug on the table. Connor's baby is our future. You need to stop living in the past. You'll be at the party. You'll smile. And you'll stop making everything about your grief. Something inside me snapped. Connor didn't even want kids yet, I said quietly. He told me he wanted to wait until, well, Connor isn't here to want anything, is he? Sarah cut in. Her perfect widow mask slipped for just a second. That night, I went to take a depression nap. When I woke up at 1 a.m., I stumbled to my shelf to find the box, his box. The one I kept hidden with his concert tickets, photos, friendship bracelets. It was gone. Vanished. At breakfast, I brought it up. Sarah just smiled. I donated them. You needed help letting go. My parents nodded. I went back to bed for 4 more hours. The gender reveal was torture. Sarah stood by the lake and announced she was naming the baby Connor Jr. The crowd gooed. I wanted to scream. That night, I did my usual, stalked Connor's Facebook, read old messages, stared at the blinking cursor and wondered what I could have done differently. But something shifted. I didn't want to forget his voice. So I did what any grief-stricken teenager would do. I broke into his laptop. I was hoping for a voice recording, but what I found made me sick. His browser history was full of searches about how to leave a pregnant partner. Screenshots of texts from Sarah, sent to someone named Mike Two Hearts, talking about secret meetups. Connor had been tracking her location. He knew she was lying. His journal was filled with dread. About feeling trapped. About how Sarah mentioned his life insurance policy a little too often. About how his coffee started tasting off. His last journal entry was dated the day before he died. At the bottom, he'd written, "The letters in our spot." Our spot. The attic crawl space where we used to hide during our parents' fights. I waited until 2 a.m. creeped up there with a flashlight. Behind the loose board, the one we used to stash candy, there was an envelope. My name was written on the front. If you're reading this, something happened to me. I need you to know the truth about Sarah and the baby. Full story on channel link below.